Okay. Um, so hi everyone. Good evening. Thank you again for attending our student success workshop. So tonight's student success workshop is going to be how you will navigate your Canvas courses. So Canvas is in general is the platform that we use here at LBCC, or it seems like the majority um, of schools um, in the Long Beach School District, and most likely in other school districts as well. But it's basically the main I guess hub of where all your courses, all your assignments, your quizzes, everything is basically on there now because technology. Um, there are other forms. Like, I remember when I was in high school, I had Schoology. The closest thing I could describe Schoology was like Facebook, I guess you could say. Um, but either way, like, it's a really good educational platform that it's not only utilized for just for courses in general. I know that for the Long Beach School District, staff use it like as a kind of like a reference book. Here at Early College Initiatives, we also use it as like a reference. So when you guys are, especially if you guys are taking online classes, I think this is just going to be really important for you guys to know how to kind of go through, learn some tips and tricks about some things um, about the platform that you may not know, or you may know already, and you just kind of need a refresher. So we'll get started with that. So we're going to just be talking about real quick how to log in. We're going to look at the dashboard. We're also going to look at course content, and I'm going to kind of go into depth about what kind of like what to kind of expect when it comes to courses. And then the portion I was mentioning earlier about if you guys wanted to screen share or not, totally up to you if you don't want to, is the editing settings. For that one, I found it out just kind of being bored and playing on my phone one day. So it's really fun and really cool to kind of do. And then also we're going to talk about some additional help and resources that Canvas offers, and specifically what LBCC offers. And then we'll have a Q&A section. So kind of just to give you a quick overview though, so I attend Concordia University Irvine, and so we use Canvas literally regularly. As you can see here, this is what my dashboard looks like. And as you can see, like, it's going to vary depending on what school you go to. So for LBCC, it's most likely going to be red and black because those are the colors of our school. And then for me, my colors are green and white. So that's why it's that color. It's totally different everywhere at different schools, but it all works the same. We all have somewhat the same functions. So we're gonna try to focus more on like what LBCC looks like. So we'll get started with this. Okay, so when you guys are logging in to your Canvas, as LBCC students, you'll open your default browser. So that's either Safari, or if that's Google Chrome, Firefox, Opera, Microsoft Edge, whatever is your default browser. You're going to open it up and you're going to the search bar and you're going to type https //www.lbcc.edu. And if you look here on top, like what I have here, what I first screen recorded, you'll go over to the Viking portal, which is up there. And by clicking on that Viking portal, you will be logging in your credentials. And so just a reminder of what your credentials are. That is your student ID number and your password. So we just call it here at LBCC, we call it credentials. Oh, real quick, I did want to mention that if you do have some trouble with your password, one of the things you can do is that you could, when you go into the login, there is a section where there is the new/forgotten password It'll just take you through the steps of what you need to do in order to do that. If you ever get locked out of your account, be sure to email the IT help desk. But we'll kind of get into that soon. So what is your dashboard? So kind of like what we saw on mine, there's a lot of things that that you'll see. It's basically your homepage. So say, for example, you go to like Instagram or Facebook or anything really, anything that you consider homepage, that's basically what your dashboard is on here. It's an overview of everything that is available to you. So over here on this side, we have your to-dos. We have things that are coming up. We have the different courses that you guys are going to be having. And, again, like this is all going to be dependent on like what school you go to. But again, the things that you will always see in Canvas is that you're always going to see your account. You're always going to see, sorry, I'm trying to move this. Okay. You're always going to see your account. You're always going to see your courses. You're always going to see the options for groups, calendar, your inbox, and you're also going to always see the help. So that's just kind of real quick of what I wanted to go through with for the dashboard. And we're going to go straight into the course content. So when you open Canvas, you are going to be you're mostly going to be accessing your courses. So usually this is a default, but usually like it will tell you what is your what year that your what semester you're in. So this one, for example, this person happens to be taking History 101 in the spring of 2016. And so you go to courses. This is just one of the courses that you'll see. You'll see it both in this format on the dashboard, but then you can also access your courses on this side. Some of the notable features that you guys should kind of take note of when you guys are on Canvas is that you have your discussion boards, you have your files, you have your assignments, you have your announcements, you have your quizzes, and you have your grade book. There's actually a feature that you can do to see your grades a lot more easily when you're on the dashboard, but we'll get into that soon. One of the things that I want to note is that every professor is going to be different. So one professor may utilize discussion board posts more than actual assignments that they set out. So it's kind of important to just kind of like play around and get familiar with your courses, since not every professor is going to be having the same format when it comes to teaching their class. So what we're going to do now is that we're going to continue on. So these are just some things I kind of wanted to note to you guys about course content. So like I mentioned before, discussion board posts are very important. You have to kind of think about what's an appropriate response. One of those main things is definitely just practicing proper grammar in general, doing the 3 to 5 sentences for a post. And then if you happen to be doing a reply, do another 3 to 5 sentences. Usually in discussion board posts, your professor should have like a rubric. If not, then again, check your syllabus. And just a quick little backtrack to the syllabus. If you guys haven't watched our student success workshop on how to read your syllabus, that is definitely something you should definitely have a chance to look at whenever you guys are wanting to kind of get in-depth like help on your syllabus, especially since we did this. This is a new semester, and we may be starting the semester differently, and so just kind of good to have like a little toolkit on that. But again, for the discussion board, so for example, for me, I have to when I do my discussion board posts, I have to usually insert like a resource at least in the appropriate formatting. So the format I happen to be using is APA. So whenever I am referencing anything in my discussion board posts, I properly format it into the APA format, and then I give my my college ready discussion board post. And at the end of that, of course, it depends on your teacher. Usually, professors that do discussion board posts, they usually expect you to reply to at least like one person on the discussion board. So again, like read your syllabus and read your rubric just to make sure of that. Especially if it's important content. When it comes to writing in general, especially when it comes to doing assignments, be sure to utilize our resources like the Writing Center. So what I have here is kind of how to get to the Writing Center. So you go to academics and you go to the tutoring and academic resources, and then we have all these different resources for you guys. You'll click onto the Success Center, and then depending on whichever it is that you need help with, whether that's math or it's reading and writing, you will go ahead and you will click on that. Over here on the right side, you'll see that I highlight the hours that the Writing Success Center is open. But just utilize it to the best of your ability. I do know that sometimes some professors do require you to go to the Writing Center. So again, that is something that you should definitely keep in mind, especially when you're starting your classes and you open Canvas for the first time and you're looking over your course and you're reading your syllabus. Something that you should definitely just go ahead and take a look at. I mentioned Turnitin.com and ChatGPT specifically. When you guys are submitting assignments, sometimes what will happen is that when you have like an essay that you are writing for a professor, when you submit it in, it basically transfers what you have into this system, similar to Turnitin.com. If you happen to know what Turnitin.com is, if you don't, it's okay. Basically, it tracks down to see if you're plagiarizing. So, for example, say you're using a bunch of quotes from a resource or an article that you were using on your paper. Turnitin.com is going to flag it because it's word for word, even despite all the quotes. And that will give you like a status of usually like maybe like yellow or orange. Yellow or orange is one of those two. Kind of giving you a warning that, hey, you're kind of plagiarizing here. You don't realize that it's mostly just because you are quoting a lot of stuff on your paper. So when it comes to writing in general for your papers, and especially when you turn it in through Canvas, there is that. And also along with that, there is ChatGPT. So ChatGPT will definitely pick up if you are literally just posting your prompt and then you're just copying and pasting and you're pasting it onto your assignment, whether you're converting it to like a PDF format, a Word document, or you're just copying and pasting onto the text of into assignment. Use ChatGPT wisely. That's all I can say. Use it to help you generate ideas and use it to kind of, get your creative juices flowing when it comes to writing papers. So that's that. So the next part of this content is the modules and just what exactly are they? So modules, as you can see here that I've screen recorded, usually they're kind of like your timeline. So if you look into your syllabus, there you kind of have like a timeline of all the assignments and all of the content that you're going to be learning for the semester. And modules kind of help you modules are basically what helps you break it up into different pieces. So for example, for my class, I have like a module for every week. I have 8 weeks of classes, so I have 8 modules that I go through. Every time I open up a module, there is the date that the module starts, and there's the date that the module ends. And basically within that time frame, I have to submit my assignments. I have to submit or like any assignments that are due that day. And then also there are, if there are any discussion boards I need to do, if there's any projects that I need to work on with any classmates of mine, that's kind of what I would use it for. Um, Modules are kind of like your little timeline as to how far you've gotten to the class and then how much more time you have left until the class ends. Um, this is kind of important for our online students who are mostly taking their classes online, and they're only taking their classes online. You should learn how to pace yourself and how to kind of have a rhythm and a routine um, when it comes to checking your modules and just keeping track of Canvas in general. So, for example, what I do is that when I am nearing the end of the week, say for example, like maybe Saturday or Friday, the week is almost ended. I'll go into the next module and I'll take a look and see um, the assignments that I may be having, um, the discussion boards that I need to do, and then also, of course, like the reading content that I need to do. Um, and I kind of pace myself out that way by just kind of giving myself like a broad idea of what it looks like. One of the things that is really nice that my professor does is that my professors always give a section called a look ahead. So at the bottom of the module, there is one section and it's one link that gives like a preview of the next like 3 weeks. So that would include assignments and essays are due. That would include group projects that are due, the discussion boards that will be coming up. That's kind of what you should try to do too for yourself. Try to give yourself a look ahead. Look into like maybe 2 to 3 weeks of 2 to 3 weeks ahead of where you're at right now. Write them down, put them on a sticky note, put them on your planner, put them somewhere where you have a lot of access to and that you are always looking through. And kind of use that to basically um, you know, give yourself some time to kind of recuperate and to also be prepared for what is going to be coming within those following weeks of your classes. So else is very important is that not only you guys are going to be having assignments, you guys are also going to be having quizzes. One of the things you guys should be be very attentive with when it comes to the quiz formats that you use on Canvas. Be sure that you guys are paying attention to the quiz attempts that you have. Some professors may have attempts that are like 10. You may get to have like 10 attempts at like a 5-point quiz. And other times you might be getting only one attempt at a 5-point quiz. So again, take that into consideration and also take into consideration how much time that you're given for those quizzes. It always varies between different professors. Some professors will either um, close the quizzes, and when it comes time for grades and extra credit and all that stuff, again, this is based on my experience when I was here at LBCC. It depends on which professor. It always depends on what professor you have, but I've had professors in the past who have closed quizzes and have reopened them. 2 weeks before finals for students to retake their quizzes in order to get the highest score. And whatever is their highest score, that is the grade that they would input into their grade book. So when it comes to that, it's always really important to communicate with your professor. So one of the cool things on Canvas is that you can directly message your professor through Canvas. If I rewind it back here a little bit, after you get over to sorry, there is going to be a section called the inbox. And in that inbox, it's literally like it's like a email format. Here, like I am giving like kind of just like an overview of like the past classes that I've had with some professors. And if you go over here to the settings, you know, of course, if you ever happen to be, if you happen to not be someone that really looks through their Canvas emails or their Canvas messages, um, it's just a quick little cute feature that you can use to just let people know, like, hey, like I don't really, this can be a way for you to kind of like message people to be like, hey, I don't really use this, but you know, contact me this way. Um, but say, for example, you have a professor who encourages you to really use Canvas to contact them. You'll be composing your emails just like you would be composing a simple email. So you would start by looking for the course that you are looking for. Say, for example, you're looking for your Astronomy 1 class. You would pick your Astronomy 1 class. After that, you would go into the to box, and that would be to your um, that would be to your professor. One of the cool things about Canvas is that it's not only meant for your professor, it is meant for everyone that happens to be in your class. So we can look into that feature real quick later too when we do the share screen. But anyone that happens to be in your course and in that class section, you have the ability to message them through Canvas, which is pretty cool, especially when you guys do group projects. So kind of just keep that in mind if like you realize that you don't have someone's phone number. Um, send them an email through you can send them an email through Canvas, or you can even just look up their email on online in the class that you're in, and you can find their usually you can find their contact information that way. But can using this feature is definitely like it's a really helpful thing to use when you are doing group projects. Right now, like every year or every semester that I attend my university, I'm always doing at least like one group project. And there was one time where I didn't have any means of like finding my group mates, and so I emailed them through Canvas, and we are all able to get each other's numbers that way, and we were able to communicate from there. Um, when kind of looking that from the side, say you are contacting your professor, um, if you've missed an online exam or a quiz, this is definitely one way to be concise and to be very detailed, but also very clear about the intention of your message to them. So, you know, give them a good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Um, my name is so and so, or just say, uh, Professor so and so, I am here to ask if I can make up my online exam. You can give your reason for why you probably missed that exam or that quiz. Just wait for the reply from your professor and then, you know, see how things go from there. But this is just definitely a good way for you to quickly um, contact your professor if they are not answering you via email. So the cool thing about Canvas is that you have notifications and you have this on your phone. So I'm kind of giving you an idea of like what it looks like on my phone. So we'll start off with what it looks like on my phone. So when you enter the app, of course, it's going to be like a little circle, like a little red circle with like kind of like dots around it. That's what it is. So again, like how I mentioned that I can get I can show like my grades on the courses. That's basically what it looks like. That's what it looks like. And here usually like your professor will provide you with like some sort of like group assignment. If you happen to have groups and they assign you randomly, they give you like this kind of like little mini section. So it's like a little subsection of the app that you have. Um, but we're gonna kind of go into the notification section. So if you go down here to the little bell, um, that kind of just shows you what is going to be coming up, what has been overdue. As you can see here, um, The red marks basically kind of mean like this is like kind of past the due date. So kind of get on with it. It's very important that you get this done. Um, that's just a one way to see all of your notifications. Everything that is going to be um coming up soon, or just like what is going to be due in like a couple hours, is just really important to have. But one of the things I want to talk about is like how to set up these notifications. So basically you'll go up to the three lines up here. If this is on your phone, you'll go over to your profile and you'll go into settings. And in settings, you'll head over to either email notifications or push notifications. Email notifications will most likely go to your LBCC account. So, you know, what if that's the email that you have set up for your for to get any notifications from Canvas, that's where it's going to be sent to. If it's sent to a different email, that's fine. It's just going to be sent to your primary email that you signed up as an LBCC student. So we're going to talk specifically about the push notifications. And so on your phone, you will have different things that you can turn on and turn off. Over here, I just have everything because why not? You can basically turn on and off everything that you need. I would consider like the most important things that you should have, that you should definitely keep on when you are, especially if you happen to have it on your phone, is to keep your announcements, to keep the due date open. And then also, if you really want to keep track with your grades, definitely, definitely keep the grading open. So that's what it looks like when you are setting up your notifications through the Canvas app. Now, if you happen to not be using Google Drive calendar, your Apple Maps, Canvas also has a calendar that you can definitely sync your and that you can sync your email to. The cool thing about it is that if you happen to be taking like 2 or 3 different classes for this semester, if you look on the Canvas app, you'll be able to see the days that you are meeting with the class. If you were to be meeting with the class in person, you'll see the days and the times of when you are supposed to be meeting with that class. You can also see the assignments that you'll be that will be coming up soon, and then their due dates. And that also goes for quizzes and for exams that will be coming up, and kind of giving you an idea of like how much time you should be studying. Again, one of the important things about keeping your notifications on is that if you happen to be having if you happen to have messaged your professor through Canvas, make sure you keep that notification on so they can get back to you on that. Okay, so I will pause this real quick. And so if there is anyone that would like to share their screen, we could probably just go through real quick about what Canvas kind of looks like. If you don't want to, that is totally fine. I will definitely okay, so we got to kind of explore what it looks like to kind of just go through Canvas, and saw a few things that we probably may not have seen before. Hopefully you guys utilize them. I know that there are probably some things I definitely should be utilizing a lot more. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Sorry about that. Okay, so we're gonna go into the additional resources. So as an LBCC student, if you need help with anything in general, and this only not only includes getting locked out of your account, which if you happen to be locked out of your Canvas account, do call the help desk, which is this number right here. You also have resources that you can access when you're on Canvas. So when you open up your dashboard, which is this, there is a push pin button at the bottom, which says resources, and it gives you a lot of different kind of resources that LBCC offers students. The ones that we'll be focusing on the most, though, is our, hold on, let me see if it'll click onto it, is the ones at the Student Hub. Okay, so this is on online support that is provided for you guys. And so we have different resources for you guys to use. So say, for example, you're looking through your courses and you're starting to realize that maybe that you may need some help with your writing style. Well, guess what? If you go to your Canvas and you go into your Student Hub or your resources, you can go here to the Tutoring and Success Center and you can go in there and apply for an appointment with a tutor, or you can apply for like a success workshop that they may be having soon. There's a lot of things that you can do. And this is just an amazing resource that is available to you, especially for students that primarily are online. So we have our academic counseling and our welcome center. For academic counseling, that's if you need to set up an appointment with an LBCC counselor, that is where you are most likely going to be setting up that appointment. Again, like I said, the tutoring and the success centers, we have different success centers here, both here on the LEC campus and at TTC, and that also goes for tutoring as well. So you can also sign up for that as well. One of the things I just want to mention is that you must have your Viking ID number in order to have like any access to any of these resources. So if you want to make a counseling appointment, you need to have your LBCC Viking ID number. We also have DSPS services. We also have admissions, financial aid, and the cashiers. So that would take you to the admissions and records page, talking about about financial aid, talking about admissions into your admission status as an LBCC student, how you're paying for your classes. This is all just where it's all in one place. I believe there's more that I have on here. The wellness center should also be on here too. If I scroll down more, I probably didn't scroll down more. Oh, there we go. Okay. So you guys also have the wellness support. So you have wellness support. So you have our wellness center, you have easy online access to. But one of the things I also really want to point out to you guys too is that you guys also have library online access. So like most colleges, if you have your student ID number and you have your password and you're able to log in, you have full access to your online library. And so if you don't know where else to find it at LBCC, just know that it's here on your Canvas app in the Student Hub underneath Library Online. So that's just something that you guys can keep in mind about. And that is pretty much all I have. If you guys have any questions, do let me know. You can type them in the chat or you can go ahead and talk. You can unmute your mic and you can talk about, or you can speak. I'm sorry, I can't talk right now. Sorry. But if we don't have any questions, I do want to just say real quick, thank you guys so much for attending this workshop. Like always, I will be sending out an email to you guys with all the slides and just everything that was discussed and talked about. Everything will be included in that slide. If you look over here, this is our Instagram page. So again, if you happen to want to know updates about future workshops or even stuff like financial aid or our textbook loans and stuff, feel free to follow our Instagram page. We are very, very active on that, and we are very good with like our updates on our story. So go ahead and do that. On this side here, I would appreciate it if you guys did a feedback survey. If you guys took the feedback survey, it really helps a lot with creating these presentations, what everyone likes, what probably someone else didn't like. So in future reference, if we ever do this workshop again as well, maybe there's some more features that we can add and talk about because I didn't mention it. If you have any questions, you feel free to contact us again at our Instagram, which is LBCC ECI. And then you can also email us at earlycollege@lbcc.edu.